Okay, so now can you see the screen? Okay, good. Yeah, I guess I didn't click this for some reason, only audio was coming. Okay, thanks. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we have completed till regression testing, right? Okay, let's move forward. Okay, we'll go to another. So I'll be telling you load testing. Okay, before that, acceptance testing. So in this acceptance testing, so there's also like called UAT. Okay, the acceptance testing is like a little high level. Okay, there's also UAT, user acceptance testing. Okay, so that is more specific to the user. Okay, so in this acceptance testing is to verify the system, I mean, that customer requirements are being met or not. So this UAT, right? UAT or acceptance testing is UAT is specifically done is done by the internal users of the team. Okay, might be business analyst, or there might be another team who will be working on that, like UAT team. Well, they'll say UAT, user acceptance testing. Okay, and they will be working on that. So it's an internal, I mean that thing is internal. Okay, everyone only will be doing, that's the internal in-house, like say that term, right? In-house project. So whenever you go in-house, so that will be done by the to verify the system meets the customer required specifications. So that is acceptance testing. It's a high level. Okay, so to be more specific, user acceptance testing, that means it is done by the user. Of course you will be still, it is no, it's done by the in-house people, but you call it as UAT because you are trying to see why it is called user acceptance. Is it compatible? Let me give an example, right? That's more better. So what is UAT? Okay, um, let's go to our favorite website. Oops, maybe did I miss something? Okay, so there is also usability testing. I'll be giving you more better explanation on that. Okay, before that, right? So let's say in UAT. Okay, let's say user acceptance. So let's say requirement has the sign in button here. Okay, so we have like sign in button. Okay, and it's here. Okay, so I don't want sign in button some in the footer node, right, or some here somewhere, but I don't. So if I want to sign, so if I see sometimes if I like something, right, let's see. Okay, so I want to go here. I don't want to go down and see and click on the sign in button, right? So this is so that is like user acceptance. It's not exactly user friendliness, but here like so these things will be tested by the okay. Yeah, Richard, do you have any question?
Yeah, I mean, so it's tested by the, is it like end testing?
UAT is
Is it?
done by actually there is a separate team, UAT team. Normally, no, you have an UAT team to do this specific kind of job. That means is it compatible, or all those things like the functionalities are being met. Uh, all the functional testing is being done. That will be done. This is like they're specific to user acceptance.
Okay.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah, normally it is like different team UAT testers. UAT testers, and they'll specify the requirements. Okay, like UAT, people will be doing this, analyzing from the documents. I mean, it's similar to functional testing, but it's not functional testing. Why? Because some other people are working and they want to see some specific scenarios. Like so there are some scenarios, right? They will be looking into that one. So does it make sense?
Okay.
Any other question?
That's all for now.
Okay, so yeah, so all this no, this will be tested. Okay, so for example, right? See, let's say if whenever I'm trying to see this, the light, I mean, it becomes dark, right? So suddenly it becomes light. So those are also specific, that is also that might be specified in the requirement, saying that okay, whenever you try to navigate this, the background gets dim. Okay, it's becoming dark, right? Can you see that? It's becoming dark. So that might also be a requirement. Okay, that might also be a one type of acceptance testing that should be accepted by the user. Oh no, I want user wants to be like this, and it's coming like that. So it's based on the user how it's uh, so that is one. Okay, so it's not exactly functional testing, but it's more of a specific point, specific. Is it acceptable by the user or not? Yeah, Richard, do you have any question?
Actually, can you speak a little bit slow and loud, please?
Sure, sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so that is acceptance testing. Okay, just I will give an example. That means if the system meets and customer specified requirements. So if the customer said, so there might be a requirement from the customer, right? See how does this thing works, right? You BA, so this is done by the BA, business analyst. So whenever the business analyst, there talks to the users. Okay, so there might be users, some request might be coming from external people, from internal people, all those things, right? Let's say from the external people, the request might be coming saying that, hey, this should be like that. We want trying to, get some, we're trying to buying stuff and we don't like this, we want to be the functional should be like that, and then BA decides, okay, so this is how it should be, this is how it should looks like. So that is based on the customer. So all these requirements of the customer are being made. So customer might not be individual, it might be also from the company also, right? Because they say, hey, this should not be like this, it doesn't meet the specifications of the federal compliance, this doesn't come under federal compliance. You need to change this application, you need to change the way of does it looks like, all those things. Okay, so that is acceptance testing. So that will be doing by other team. Okay, so that's acceptance testing. And then we have load testing. Let's I'll check with that. So there's like performance testing. This performance testing is classified into two: load testing and stress testing. Okay, this is performance testing. So what is the performance testing? Okay, so let's take an so what happens in the performance testing, right? So whenever a user trying to whenever a user trying to access some URL, okay. So whenever a user, right? So I'm trying to buy something in the Amazon. Okay, let's say I'm going to buy something in Amazon, and I'm trying to log into the website. Okay, and their website is Amazon.com. That's well and good, but whenever I'm trying to log in into the website, okay, it consumes some resources from the server because you are trying to access someone else's server, right? It might be okay, it might be Amazon server. Okay, now let's say an example, Amazon has their own server. Okay, And whenever you are, so how many people will be logging at once? Amazon.com is pretty big, right? I mean, let's take an example. Let's take an some value. Okay, so let's say 1 million people access Amazon.com daily on daily basis. Okay, so all over the world, right? Even I I'm also trying to log in into Amazon all over the world. So it's in not only just in US, it may, and they ship to all over international level. Okay, but whenever one user trying to access that URL, it consumes some resources from the server. It is some space, okay, and it is it can be bandwidth, okay, it can be a bandwidth, and it can be space, it can be any resource, okay, it consumes some resource, okay. So when see the server has some limitations, right? Let's take an example, okay. So a server can only handle up to, let's take an example, handle up to 50 users. Why? Okay, because you know its capability of handling those resources is just only 50, let's say. Okay, so what happens if 1 million people log in into the same server at once? Does anyone have any idea? Right, it becomes, yeah, it crash, or the server you know or gets blown up, okay. Yeah, Richard, do you have any question?
Yeah, I told you it's gonna be crash or slow down or like,
Right, right.
it's,
It might,
yeah.
it might be, um, yeah, it can be, crash. The application becomes slow, or and the worst case scenario, and that server might blown up. It might. Why? Because see, it cannot handle that many users. Okay, at once. See, at once. I'm talking about at once, right? At once the people logging into that Amazon.com, and it's just one server, and it just blows up. That server gets blown. So now what happens, right? So now you cannot no now what we will be doing is, right, they'll put one more server. Now in this case, let's take an scenario that 90 people are logging into, not so let's take this in an example. 90 people are logging at once, but now you have two servers, and the capability of the server in one server is 50 users. So now you have 50 users here and 50. Okay, we have now let's take an 50 users, and then server like is has load balancer. Okay, is a software, mostly it's a software, okay, installed as a load balancer. So what does that load balancer do? So let's take it, if when 90 people are logging into that server, but there are now two servers, right? That load balancer distributes the load to the equally to the other server. So now you have two servers interconnected, okay. Now everyone is trying to log in some, let's take an example, 90 people are logging into the Amazon.com at once, okay. I'm just talking at once, okay. When 90 people are logging into that server, what does the load balancer does? It takes 40 people, okay, 45 people into this server, and once 46th user tries to log into that, it moves that user to the another server. Now it's balancing the load. Now that load balancer is trying to balance that users, okay. Why? Because if it's more than that, it gets crashed, right? Server now application becomes slow. The performance of the application degrades completely, and so all the stuff. Okay, we don't want that stuff, right? So you have the load balancer that balances the load between the two servers, but there are like so many other servers, so they might be having so many complex scenarios and complex softwares to handle that amount of loads. Okay, and they are more of a distributed load systems. That means they will be having all various locations. They will be accessing that specific server. So now even million people log in into that, then nothing happens because all the loads will be particular loaded into the local server, and that doesn't get screwed up with the main server. Okay, so what's the what's the point in this? That's what we want point, right? So now the load testing. So in this load testing, right? Now when you put that load, so in this load testing, you're trying to see the performance of the application. So how fast is, so whenever it's performance, right? So how fast whenever you're trying to, okay, I want to click in this, uh, let's say home services. Now, okay. So how much time it is getting to navigate it to the next page? This is a different URL, right? See, you see that this is a different URL altogether. So how soon it is navigating that page into that? Okay, you're trying to see the performance. Okay, so this is one of the, so you're trying to see that using, so you have a different tool actually, load runner or load UI. So there is like uh, there are like various tools actually to test this all these things. We don't do it manually because there are so many users involved in this, so we don't work manually. We use the automation tool that's called load runner. Okay, so now in the load testing we test an application under the heavy loads. Okay, such as website. Okay, and the we determine like how the application is behaving. Is it slow? Is it taking more time? Or is it, so let's, so normally, like some applications are really slow and some are fast. So let's take an, see, this is taking some time, right? So it took some time, some microseconds. Okay, this might take more, 1 second. It took 1 second to come up, to show this google.com. Okay, so that is taking some time. So we also, determine that amount of time. So all this, in the load testing, we will be doing that. Okay, to test the application under the heavy loads. Even after, having that much of load, okay, how the application is behaving. Okay, so we test that one in the load testing. Okay, so let's come to the next stress testing. So in this stress testing, right? So we actually, try to see the how the, system is behaving after, even after the, you are putting so much load. Okay, even after, see, so many like complex database queries, input of the system, everything. See these queries. Okay, so whenever you are trying to access some system that is a production database, so for something that database is getting, so whatever you are trying to access in website, right, that is interconnected with the database. All the information is coming from the database only, right? So it's still getting query to the database. Whenever you're trying to log in into any website, it's, of course, the database is involved, but not ordinary. That's a production database that we call it as product. In the real time we'll call it as a production database, not a development or test database. Okay, so that is also taking some queries, right? It's also getting some query. That means it's automatic getting query and getting the information from the database and displaying to the website. That's how it happens, right? So all those things, if you know that is all those things, you are trying to put more and more load on that and trying to see how the system is behaving after putting the load, after beyond its specification. Okay, let's, for example, right, if the server is like, which handles 50 users. Okay, let's say server is handling the 50 users and recommended is 45 users. Recommended is 45 and this max is 50. You cannot go beyond. Now we want to see, like, if you want to try to add 46th user, what happens? How the server is behaving? I mean, how the application is behaving? Is it becoming slow? Is it, is it the navigation of the next page is slow, or is it getting crashed in between, or how much bandwidth is it taking? How much resource is taking? All those stuff. Okay, that's what you do in the load and stress testing. Stress testing is like you are putting beyond its specification. Let's say 45 users is recommended and you are putting more than that, 46, 47. That is stress testing. You are putting stress, more and more stress. Okay, so that is stress testing. And so performance testing is, is the two is divided into two types, that is load testing and stress testing. Okay, let's go to next topic. Let's finish this today quickly so that once this is done, right, we'll go to much more productive work today. Okay, so we'll finish this testing today. Usability testing. So this is user friendliness check. Okay, and the application flow is tested and user understand the application easily, proper health documented when. Okay, so user for me, right, as a user point of view, so I'm a user, right, let's say I'm a user in Amazon.com. Okay, let me start. Okay, this is something which I don't like, right, when I'm trying to browse. Okay, now, okay, so whenever I see this, right, I want to see sign in button here. Okay, I want to see the sign in button here, but I don't want sign in button some here place, right? I'm going to here and in the footer place. No, that is not the user friendliness. Okay, now I'm just giving an example. Though I mean it's not like a hard and fast rule, or no, just don't take it this as a granted. I'm just giving you an example. As a user point of view, as I am the user, I'm trying to buy something. Okay, I'm trying to buy something, and I want to buy and I want to log in immediately right away. I don't want to wait. See, customers don't have time to wait, right? No, I want to buy. I'm okay. I like this Kindle. Now I want to buy. Okay, now I click this. Now where should I buy? No, okay, good. Now I want to sign in. So I want here right away on my, on the first screen bar or toolbar, whatever menu bar. I want to see here and sign in and just log in into its system and buy. I don't want to go scroll down in the footer and see last page and see the sign in button is here and nobody knows even if it is there. So it's not user friendly, right? Do you guys agree? Is it a user friendly to put a sign in button in the footer of the page? I mean, personally, I mean, yeah, there might be applications like that. I don't know. So I've seen some complex applications too. But as a customer point of view, as a I want to use it. So I don't want to be some insignificant place of an application. So this I need to scroll down this many lines of need to scroll this much to to see if there is something here you go, here is a sign in button. I don't want to be sign in here. I want here right away on my face, right? So I can sign it and go here and I can buy stuff. So that is user friendliness. How the friendliness of an application. Okay, so that is usability testing. You're trying to see the user friendliness of an how the application is user friendly or not. Okay, so what you do here, here you go here, application flow is tested. Okay, so as a new user, you want to things to be get straight to the point. You don't want to don't want things upside here and upside down and all this in chaos, and then end up customer ending up no, this site is not good, I'm not going to buy because there's no sign in button and no add to cart buttons. How am I supposed to buy this? You don't want all those things, right? You want to want to be perfect, right? Whenever a customer wants to buy, yeah, you need to, it should be near the, everything should be in the nearby. You cannot scroll down into 20 pages sheet and just find a sign in button. Doesn't make sense. So that is usability. Okay, that's a user friendliness actually. How much user friendly it is. Okay, so then you have install and uninstall testing. Okay, so in this what you do is you install. So install and uninstall, right? You install an application. So there are two applications, right? Web application and client application. So client application is always installed. Okay. So everybody knows that how to install. So it is oops. So whenever you try to uninstall, right? So here you can also install here. Okay. or uninstall. You can uninstall here. Okay, so whatever applications you have, the client applications, right? Whatever you have installed it, you can see here, and you can uninstall here from here. So this is in the control panel. You go it and in here you uninstall it. Okay, so this is testing. So what you do is testing for that one. So that is called install uninstall testing. Okay, so what it says is like, tested for full partial upgrade installation process or different operating system under the different software. So whenever you try to install an application in your system, you try to test that. Is it so? Why installing, right? So when you install an application into your system, there are so many things that happens. Okay, so many things. Registry keys gets updated. If there are DLL files get added to your DLL library, and there are like there's other things, and all the system information also might get changed because of that application. So there's so many things that happen in install and install. So that testing is called install and uninstall testing. Okay. So next, we'll go to next topic. Recovery testing. So what is recovery testing is like, once application gets crashed, right? Once an application gets crashed, okay, so how much time does it takes to recover from that? And you're trying to test that, how much time it's taking, and you're trying to test that. That is called recovery testing. Okay, from crashes, either hardware or either any other crashes. Okay, so that is recovery testing. Security testing. So this can be, so security testing. So let me give an example for the security testing, right? So there are, there are other ways to do, but I'll give you a simple example. Let's take an HTTPS. Okay. See, this is secure, right? HTTPS means Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Secure. S means secure. If you know there are also HTTP. So normal HTTP. Good. Google has removed HTTP. Now no more HTTP. Before there was HTTP. So this has become mandatory, right? There should be HTTPS. In some point of future, you will see that all the applications are designed only in HTTPS. No more HTTP. Because see, everything should be secure, right? So okay, that's why we use HTTPS. So of course, whenever I try to buy something, let's say I'm trying to buy something, so I'll make sure that it is HTTPS. So I don't want to buy something which is in HTTP, right? I'll never buy. I'm like, forget it. I'm not going to buy this. Not at least not from this website. I'll go somewhere else. So that's how that's HTTPS is important. So that for that you can test. So that kind of testing is called security testing. I'm just giving an example. Don't take it as a granted because that's just an example. Okay. That's whenever you're trying to do HTTP, it's hypertext transfer protocol, and S means secured. So hypertext transfer protocol secured. So there are two different things. So you are trying to test the security of an system or security of an application. Okay. So that kind of testing is called security testing. So let's see in your definition what does it say. System can be penetrated any hacking way. Okay. Testing how well the system protects against the unauthorized internal or external access. Okay, so that is security testing. Next, we go to the next slide. Okay, compatibility testing. So compatibility testing is like, everybody knows, right? Compatible means, is it software compatible with the product? Is it compatible with the operating system? Is it compatible with the Windows? Is it compatible with the Mac OS? Okay, so if it is Mac, then is it compatible with the Unix, or is it compatible with Linux? So that's compatible. Okay, so let's take a Google Chrome, right? The same Google Chrome what you have installed in your Windows is not installable in the Mac, right? Because Mac is completely different. It doesn't use any exe file. Only Windows uses .exe extensions, right? And Mac doesn't uses that. Okay. So it's not compatible. So that kind of testing, okay, you're trying to see the compatibility. Okay, compatibility is it, so that is called compatibility testing. So when you're testing how well the performance in a particular hardware or software operating system and different combinations of above. Comparison testing. See, comparison testing is like you're comparing the between the two. Okay, so everybody knows, right? Comparison. What is comparison? You're comparing between the two. Okay, let's take an example. Okay, I hope this helps, but I don't think that would be useful. Let's see. Okay, so here this okay. The problem with my browser is this Firefox looks like Google Chrome. Okay, so okay, if I want to see the compatibility between the Firefox and Google Chrome, right? So I want to see the I'm sorry, comparison. I'm comparing, right? So I'm trying to compare the same website. Let's take an example. Okay, same, so this good. Now these both are same, right? So I'm trying to compare. Okay, what's the difference between here and this? In Google Chrome and Firefox. Okay, so that is comparison testing. You're trying to compare with the two. Okay, two applications. And then you have alpha testing. Okay, so in this alpha testing is this is like in so what happens, right? Uh, once the development is done, okay, so right, after development there is a testing. Okay, after testing the code moves to the production. So what happens, right? Once it moves into the production, they want to do some testing on that after it. That's called alpha testing. That means it is the in-house. Okay, in-house. That means in-house in sense means the own people who have developed the application and the company itself. Let's say in a company. So the company who have developed the application and the users who have tested the application and the business users who have actually working on that application. Those kind of they test that application. They have their own way of, they have their own style of doing that work, right? They have their own way of doing their work, so they will try to test that. That's alpha testing. Once it gets released into production and BA try to see that, oh hey, I want to see this some specific in that, so is it working or not, then BA tests. And then developer sees, okay, let me see this, I just updated my database, let's see how this is. That guy wants to test in his own way, so everyone is trying to do so. This once after the end of the development, they want to do one check, just check that everything is going and everything is is right. So that is alpha testing. This is in-house virtual user environment. Okay, so this is done by the in-house. Okay, the person who has actually developed, the company who has developed an application is trying to they're trying to test it owned by the company itself. Okay, that is alpha testing. Beta testing. So beta testing is done by the end users. Okay, let's say the example, right? So in beta testing, right? Let's say some company has launched a software products and it is and they have put into production. Okay, and they want to test because that testing was not done properly because right, there's not many people who were testing that and developer don't want to do that testing job and testers are very few in the project and the testing is not done, so now they want to do beta testing. What they will do is they will create a demo. Okay, the software, demo software. Okay, and they'll launch the product into production and say the end users, okay, this is the key, software key, and use it and test it, play. Let's say if you are if there is any some software which you need to be tested, then you just work around that one, and they give the beta keys. It's called beta keys, and you put that beta key in there and the software start working it, and it's a demo. It's a demo software, and just work it. If there is any defects, to report it. So this is how they will do. So this is done by the end users. And once they reach like after 45 days, you are done with them. Now you have to buy the product. Now demo version doesn't work. You need to buy the product. Now you need to pay money for that. So that is beta testing. Okay. So once it's done, they will launch a product and put in a demo, some demo application. Okay, and tell the end users to test an application. Okay, that's an we customers can be customers. Okay, so that is all types of testing. So we are done with the all kinds of testing. Any questions here? Any questions in? See alpha testing. See alpha testing is like beta testing, but only difference is it's done by the in-house, and beta testing is done by the users. That's the only difference. The difference between alpha testing and beta testing is alpha testing is done by the in-house people who are actually working on the application, like development, testers, BAs, scrum masters, managers, product users, whoever. Those are in-house people. Whoever actually was working on that, that is done by. But beta testing is end users, customers itself. Okay, so that's the difference between alpha and beta. Does it make sense? Okay, so any more questions? Sure. Let's go to what acceptance testing. So acceptance testing is to to verify that the system meets the specified requirement. So let's say there is a requirement, right? There is a requirement and all those requirements are documented. Okay, it's like business requirement or yeah, normally FRD, functional required document, or BRD, business required document, or SRS, system required specification. Those are all documented. So now you want to do the testing. So now you want to see that all those based on that document is accepted or not. Okay, so these are also done by the um, in-house people. I mean, all are done by the in-house people except that beta testing. Okay, and this is like you can have separate team called UAT, and this is done, and UAT, user acceptance testing, and they will be doing that job. So as a manual tester, you will not be doing. Manual tester doesn't do this acceptance testing normally. But okay, as a technical point of view, this is like similar to functional testing. Okay. Any more questions? So now let's go to our actual work. So this was all introduction from 2 days. I was just only giving introduction because this is supposed to know, right? What are the different testing and what are the various things we do. So that was just an introduction. Now we actually come to the work point of view. Now let's go. Let's say you have you got a project, and you're working in a project, and your lead has given some work. Okay, and now that guy will not say everything, right? So now that guy will say, okay, you have an application, you have the website, you got your need. Just go and start working. Okay, now for somehow for some reason, like you work with your colleagues, with your all those friends, and somehow you manage to get a website. Okay, this is how you need to test. So now lead says, okay, test this application. So now you got an application, okay, and you need to test this application. Okay, there are so many other applications going on. Okay, there are so many other applications that is going on, and you got this application and you need to test this, and your lead has given some work. Okay, it says that okay, go to this URL and test this application. Now you don't ask like what I need to test. No, that is not a very good question at that point of time, right? You don't ask what I need, because as a 7 years of experience, as a QA, you need to test everything. As a QA point of view, you supposed to know what need to be tested. Okay, you have business requirements, you will be having, okay, you check with the documents or you check with the lead, you check everything. But you don't normally don't say, okay, what I need to test. Okay, that's not a very good question. Okay. Now you got an application. Okay, now you want to test this. Okay, company, you have, so there is company, GMO online, and they want to sell some products. Okay, they are selling some products. Okay, and you want to make sure, okay, all the functionality of an application is working fine or not. So what are you going to test? Okay, so let's say this image. Okay, good. Okay, this image is supposed to be right side, and okay, this looks good. And now you want to test these buttons too, right? There are so many buttons. So there is a text. Okay, you will be seeing this text is as per the business requirement. All this information that is added in this is in the requirement. Okay, if it is not in the requirements, then you can talk to BA or product owner. See, in Agile it's called product owner, right? Or BA. Okay, and get the information from there saying that this text is there. Is there any document for that, or is it supposed to be this way, or so. And then now you want to test this application. Now you click on that enter GMO online. Now you have some, now you want to order some. Okay, so this, as I said, like this is an online, okay, ordering website, and this GMO online is very, they are more on selling goods. Okay, and then now your job is to find out the defects. So always remember, you need to find out defects. See, there are defects. There are defects. You need to be in opinion. So you need to always be in opinion that every software has defects. And trust me, every software has defects. It's not only opinion. I'll just show you with an proof. Okay. So every software has a defect. Only thing is it a defect or it's not? The only thing you need to confirm with who business analyst or developer or lead or whoever who is responsible for. Okay, so now let's take an example. Okay, I'll give you one example. There's a defect in this website. Okay, I'll show you how, and I'll be giving you homework today to find out defects. Okay, there are so many defects. Trust me, will be each one can find out like one defects, and 10 people can out 10 different variety of defects. Okay, now so don't have to be same. Okay, now let's see. I am using Google Chrome. You guys can use IE, okay, Internet Explorer, Microsoft Edge, Mozilla Firefox, Safari, whatever. Okay, all this. Okay, you can use other browsers, Opera, Maxton, whatever. But these are the important. Okay, I'm using the Google Chrome, and I'm trying to, okay, let's say I want to order this. Okay, now you want to test it. Let's click on this URL. Okay, this URL is good, saying like, okay, it's good. And you're going back, you are checking another URL. Okay, URL looks good, good. No defects yet, good. Now you want to buy this product. Okay, I'm trying to type character A. I want to place an order. I don't want to place an order. I'm just moving that no mouse. There's an error. Okay, please enter. That's good. Okay, that means you are not supposed to put any character in that. You need to put only the numbers. That's what they said, right? Put only digits. No, don't put any alphanumerics. It's supposed to be alphabets, right? No, don't put any alphabets. Only digits. Okay. Okay, good. So I'm not putting any alphabets now. I'm trying to put a special character. Okay, add. I'm just trying to move. Okay, good. This is taking, okay. This is not accepting. Okay. So so this is all testing you need to do. So these are positive scenarios. So there are three types of testing, right? Positive, positive testing, negative testing, boundary values. Okay, what is positive testing? Positive testing is, see, if there are numbers, you need to put this number. So 1, 2, 3. This is acceptable. This comes in the positive. What is negative testing in this? Is you will be putting other than digits. You will be putting alphabets. So this is negative testing. You are trying to see both. Now, boundary values. What are the boundary values? Now, if you are trying to put, let's say, you have put 2.2. So now that is not acceptable. How can you buy a product which is 2.2? That makes sense, right? Okay, please entry only digits, not an integer. I'm sorry, point two. Okay, you cannot put an yeah, integers. You just need to put only digits. Okay, so this three types of scenarios is always by default. You need to be testing that one. Okay, so okay, so I'm using all other trying my luck. So looks like application is good, but I don't think so. No, I don't think this application is good because although it's giving errors, okay. So now what will I do is I'll be entering some number. Let's take 1000 and placing an order. How is it possible? So did someone notice that? Okay, never mind. I'll tell you 1000. When I click this URL, this saying like in stock is 23. When the in stock is 23, how is it possible to place an order of 1000 quantities when there is only 23 quantities? Does that make sense, everyone? No? Yes? Don't know? Okay. So that's actually a defect. Right. It's a defect. Why? See, when you're clicking this, it's saying like 23 in stock. So when you have 23 in stock, okay, and how can you place an order of 1000? How is getting accepted? You should throw an error, right? It's not enough quantities. Okay, never mind. Now, let's see another defect. Okay, so I'm just, so I'm trying to order large quantities. Okay, okay, okay. Now I'm placing, okay, that's fine. That's, we'll forget about that. That's not a defect. Let's say, we didn't care about it. No, forget it. There is a defect in this page. Can anyone tell me what is the defect? Very easy. This is the defect, you can come up in any project. That's right. The the shipping handling is $5. So do you think when you're trying to order these many quantities, like 1000, and that too, that's something big, and you think like shipping handling will be just $5 and USPS will allow that just $5 to ship these many quantities? I don't think so, right? I mean, they'll not allow for me. I'm not sure about everyone, but they won't allow these many quantities to ship just for $5. So this is a defect. Okay, so this is a defect. And now, since now, let's say if you have found a defect in an application, now you go to the, no, you cannot open a defect. So, okay, you found an issue, okay, but you can, okay, I found an issue, yeah, no, I just open a defect now, okay, good. No, you can't do that. You need to talk, okay, now you need to go and, talk to a BA or lead, whoever you're comfortable with. I would go to the lead and say, hey, I'm trying to test an application. I put these many quantities. It's showing like, just $5. Is it appropriate? Because I don't think it's appropriate because it takes like $5. And I'm trying to order these many. So now that's an issue. He will say, okay, is this an issue? And he will communicate with the developer what's going on, why it's showing in a $5. And that will show, that will talk to, they will talk to BA and get this fixed. Okay. After that, you are going to open and after the instruction from the lead or manager or whoever, scrum master, whoever from their instructions, you are going to open the ticket. You don't go just okay, I found an issue, now I'll open issue. No, that doesn't happen. Never, you should not do that. Okay, once you get experience, of course, you go to the company, you stay for 6, 7 months, 1 year, 2 years. Now so you will be opening ticket by yourself because you will be lead by your time, right? So you will be pretty much experienced. You know how the application goes on and all those stuff. Okay, now let's move. Let's proceed with this order. Okay, I'll put this order and let's see. Okay, I'm trying to place it order. So it's 1260. I think it should work. And then just put it, place in order. So now your order is placed and products will be shipped to this address. Okay, and then you return to the home page. Now you go back to the home page. So this is, it's kind of this is the what kind of testing you'll be doing. So this is just an example. Okay, you will be testing everything here, not just one thing. This I have explained only this box. Okay, you'll be also doing this all this. Okay, um, instead of name you'll be putting 123, an address. I don't know, leave it blank. City, leave it blank, and try to see how does it reacts. Okay, and then try to place an order. Okay, you need to get this error or else it's an issue. Okay, so this is how you will be testing an application. So this is just an example. So you have an application, and of course, not only I have only showed this button. Now you two buttons are remaining, right? Okay, this is simple. This is nothing to do anything. Okay, but there are also defect in this. Just make sure guys find these defects. You need to test all this. Okay, just find out defects in these buttons. Okay, so any more questions here? Okay, so you need to also see this one, right? See here's the thing. When you click here, you're trying to check this. So you want to see that URL. The URL also is changed, right? You want to also see test that. So when this URL is changed, which location that the URL points out? Okay, it's tent. When you click on that, it's going in the tent. Now you have to make sure backpack. Now it's when you click on the backpack. So see, look at the URL. URL has been changed. Okay, backpacks. Now you want to click other URL and put in a glasses. No, the page is getting down. So same way, okay, you need to test all these URLs. Okay, sure. So there are the same way which I told you, right? So we have performed like three types of testing. What are they? Positive, negative, boundary values. Okay, positive I have shown you. Those are like numbers. This is positive for this because they are saying only to enter the digits. So it becomes this is as a positive. Okay, negative testing. Negative testing you are doing putting other than digits. Like just like alphabets. And this is showing error. This is well and good. That means it's showing error. Good. Okay, but this, but okay. So this is okay. So I will leave up to you because there's so many defects. That is, test this in IE. Okay, Internet Explorer. Test in Microsoft Edge. Test in Chrome. Test in Safari. Okay, so you can test, and there are so many other results that you will find that you will be finding more defects than what actually I've shown you. Okay, so any more questions here in this? So I'll be giving you homework today. So I'll be yeah. So this is not. I mean, this is not a real website. This is just to give you and just for an understanding. This is not the real website. But real time, so this will be like similar like that. Similar information will you will be filling out. Okay, and we'll be filling out this all this information like name, address, city, state. Okay, all this information we'll be filling out. Okay, in the real time. Yes, I'll be giving homework today. And whoever don't get homework by 4, just let me know. Okay, so I'll be just send me an email so that I'll be forwarding that homework. Okay. SharePoint user I didn't create yet. Let me do that. Okay. I'll be giving mostly access by today or tomorrow. Okay. So I'll be giving you invitation. Let's see if that works. Okay. This is like this is first time for me actually. I never used SharePoint, but just to uh, just wanted to give. And also I will be also giving you access to the Google Drive. Let's see, if I have time, like I'll be giving you access Google Drive. Whoever has okay Gmail account, they will be getting access. Whoever don't have Gmail account, I can still figure it out. Okay, so I can still give you. So no big deal. Okay, I'll be sending that shared drive so you can have that one. So okay, so I'll be giving you access to Google Drive today. So you have all the documents, including my share. I'm sorry, including what, slides, all the slides, and testing information, all the stuff you'll be having. Just navigate that, just go through it, and you'll be just understand it. By the end of all the classes, you'll be get pretty much used to that, and you'll be having pretty good idea on that how to use that. So let's see if I have time, I'll do both, or Google Drive I'll be doing by today. Any more questions? So are we good? So can we close? Oops. So can we close class today? Is everyone good? Okay. Thank you everyone. Oops. Oops, oops, oops. Yeah, Mohammed, do you have any questions?
Yeah, is the homework gonna be from same demo website?
I'm sorry, what was the question again?
Is the homework is going to be from the same demo website that we need to find the
Right. Yeah,
fault
it
in?
will be on the
Okay.
same website. And also I'll be giving you
And
instructions. So,
okay.
yeah. So I'll be sending you an email there.
And one more thing is I couldn't join last class. So if I want the recorded one, how can I get it?
I'll send you an email. So can you send me an email to my email ID manu@itamerica.com? So if you can
Yeah,
ever,
yeah,
yeah,
I got that. So shall I mentioned it there? Yeah.
yeah. So I'll be sending recording for today and yesterday and today, okay, and homework too.
All right. And I can see some handouts by this side. So anyway, these handouts we can download. Yeah.
Right, right. We can do that.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, Manu.
So anyone, any more questions? Okay. So closing this class, right? Okay. Thank you, everyone.